Hello, and welcome to the next module where we are going to cover one other important feature, one other important measure you have to take to keep your WordPress site up to date and secure. So, if you remember the security lesson again, so two reasons what we told to improve security was one was to keep everything up to date. That's what we discussed in the previous course. The second part is even if your site is compromised, you need to have a valid backup so that like you can restore the site back to how it was before the hacker actually attacked the site. So there are two ways to do it. So the two ways, what the first way is a manual way of doing it, and the second way is probably an automatic way of doing it. And the first way, the manual way of backing up. So this depends on the hosting provider. So many of the hosting providers directly provide backup utilities, just like the control panel, whatever we saw in one of the earlier courses in cPanel, there is an option to backup. And in certain hosts, they provide the backup feature in an indirect kind of method. For example, this is what iPage provides. So it provides an archive gateway. What I can do is, if I want to take a backup of a certain site, say of this particular site, Eat at Bells, what I do was I just click on it. I click on the folder whatever I want to back up, and I just click on archive or compress. Then what happens is in my FTP, I get to see that particular entire website as a zip file. So this essentially contains all the site code, all the files, WP content, WP admin, WP includes, and all the images and all the files intact in this particular zip file. Then what I can do is I can just take it and store it in my local machine. I will just say backup, and inside this, if I just take it and put it, so now this is a backup of the entire website, so taken at this particular date. So even if at the later point of time, if someone hacks into my website, I still have this file backup with which I can actually restore the site to how it was on the 12th of July. But this is not enough. If you've noticed carefully during our import and export lesson, we talked about all the textual content in WordPress being stored within the database itself. So whenever you're taking a backup, it's always a must to also take a backup of your WordPress database. So this you can do from the tools menu. You can click on export, and once you click on export, choose all content and then download the export file. So now what happens is you have on the 12th of July, you have both the database backup with you as well as you have the file backup with you. In addition to it, certain theme options uh, need to be exported as well. Whatever changes you do in theme options, it's not present even in the database. This theme options is stored in a separate table, and this can be imported and exported using your theme options itself. For example, this theme here, it provides a neat import and export option well within the theme options window itself. So now what you can do is you can download the data file here, which will be a JSON file, which we probably saw a bit earlier. So this is the options backup. So now three backups I've taken. One was the file backup, the other was the XML file backup, which was from the database, and the other was the JSON file, which I took from the theme options. So with these three files, I'll be able to restore my website to the exact state it was today, even if it was, say, compromised tomorrow. So this is one way of doing it. This is a manual procedure which you can probably schedule. You can mark a reminder to yourself and do it, say, once in a week or once in 2 weeks. Once in 2 weeks is ideally recommended. Every 2 weeks, once if you take a backup, that should be well and good. Then we move on to the next way of handling this in a semi-automatic or an automatic kind of fashion. That's achieved through plugins. So go to plugins and click on add new, and then search for Updraft. Updraft is uh, the go-to backups plugin which I use as well as many people in the industry use. So just install this plugin. It's a very good one. It has a both a premium version as well as a normal version. A normal version is most of the time sufficient. The updraft normal version, which provides automatic backups, and it even provides backups to Google Drive, Dropbox, Amazon S3, and so on. So I'm just trying to install this plugin now. So this plugin is now installed. Like any other plugin, I'll just go ahead and activate it. So now I've activated the updraft plugin, as you can see here. So now what I can do is go to settings. These are the immediate actions whatever it gives to me. So what I can do is I can click on backup now. I can even restore it from here, or I can even clone or migrate the entire website to another installation. But what we are more concerned about is the file backup being scheduled. So now we can schedule it, say, every 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, daily, weekly, fortnightly, monthly, etc. Let's keep fortnightly, and this is a setting where it says how many scheduled backups to retain. For example, every fortnight a backup will be created. Say today a backup was created, the next fortnight another backup will be created. The fortnight after that will delete the first backup created. Say let's say today's backup was A, the next fortnight's backup is B, and when C is trying to be created, only B and C will be present. The A will be deleted. Now since I kept only two, so now if I increase it to three, then what happens is both A, B, C are retained, and when D comes into the picture, A is now deleted. So it's always the backup happens in cycles, so that only two backups, recent backups, are retained in the file system or Google Drive, wherever it is. So now also you can set the database backup interval. This was the XML file, whatever we exported manually. This also you can set to probably fortnight and say two backups at a time. And what all to include in the backups? You include plugins, you include themes, you include uploads, and you include any other directory which was created. There is an option where you can encrypt the database. This is an optional feature, and then there's an email feature where you can report your backup status to your site's admin setting, and then you can even choose to keep your backups automatically in Google Drive. So now when you actually want to keep something in Google Drive, they have a nice screenshot explanation on how to actually get this done, because now we have to go to Google's app settings and then get certain keys, access keys added to this particular module here. Google Drive client ID, client secret. So they have a nice tutorial here in their support page which explains like what exactly you need to do in order to configure automatic updates to backups to Google Drive. So now you have to go first visit the Google API console from your Google account, and then you will have to create a new project. You have to give a project ID, and then you have to activate the Drive API. And once you activate the Drive API, you have to set up a product name and also an email address, and then you'll get something called API access credentials, OAuth, which is like Open Authentication Protocol. So now here you have to give your client ID, web application, and all this they would have specified nicely here. You have to give your site's access details, and then you'll get something called credentials. You'll get the client ID, you'll get the email address, you'll get the client secret, redirect URI, JavaScript origins, and all this. And once you have all this, then you have to come back here. You'll have to enter all these details here and click on Save Changes. Once you do this, what happens is whatever backup schedule, whatever you've kept, based on that schedule, like for example in this case, every fortnight, a backup of the entire file system and the database will be created, and automatically it will be placed in your Google Drive. So this saves you a lot of manual work. So since everything is like automated, only the first time setup you need to probably spend a little bit of time, but later everything is like smooth. So that like and you get mail notifications that the site has been backed up and all that. So even though you accidentally delete some files, or your site is attacked by hackers and your site is compromised, Backup is a very important feature through which you can actually recover the lost data, because data security and data backup is very very important whenever you're running a production website, because all your effort goes in vain in case you make a mistake by deleting some files accidentally and so on. So it's always good to maintain 2-3 backups and also in 2-3 different sources. One source probably might be your own desktop, and another might be in the cloud, just to keep yourself safe. So like even if your local machine crashes, you still have the cloud in which you can take the latest backup. So this is a very important feature, and I feel Updraft is a must-have plugin for all WordPress websites.